Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, and somehow, everyone on Earth knows the exact date they will die. Not a prediction, not a guess, a certainty. Some people discover they have 60 years left. Others learn they only have 6 months. And within hours, the world begins to change. Within 20 minutes, every social media platform on Earth crashes. Not because of hackers, not because of a cyber attack, but because billions of people are asking the exact same question. Is this real? In New York, traders stop working and stare at their phones. In Tokyo, train operators refuse to continue their shifts. In Paris, a bride leaves her wedding after discovering she has less than a year left to live. Meanwhile, a 78-year-old man in Argentina sits quietly in his garden. His date says he has 22 years remaining. For the first time in decades, he isn't afraid of tomorrow. Across the world, hospitals become overwhelmed. Not with patients, with questions. People demand answers. Scientists have none. Governments have none. Religious leaders have none. For the first time in human history, everyone knows exactly how much time they have left, and nobody knows what to do with that information. Then something unexpected happens. The world splits into two groups, not rich and poor, not young and old, but those with time and those without it. A 25-year-old woman discovers she will live to 97. She cancels nothing, changes nothing. Life continues. But a man in London learns he has just 18 months left. The next morning, he quits his job. A teacher in Canada sells her house and starts traveling. A businessman finally tells the woman he loves how he feels. Some people become fearless, others become terrified. Entire bucket list industries explode overnight. Travel companies make record profits. Luxury purchases skyrocket. People stop saving money. Why save for retirement when you already know you'll never reach it? The future stops being a mystery. And suddenly, the present becomes the only thing that matters. Within a year, the world barely resembles the one before. Universities lose millions of students. Retirement plans become meaningless. Insurance companies collapse. Entire industries disappear. Why study medicine for 10 years if your date says you only have 5? Why spend 30 years climbing a corporate ladder if you know exactly when your story ends? Governments struggle to maintain order. Productivity drops, but happiness rises. Families spend more time together. Old friends reconnect. People stop waiting for the perfect moment, because suddenly, every moment has value. The world becomes less efficient, but strangely, more human. Then a new problem emerges. People stop taking risks. Why would they? If your date says you'll die at 84, why worry about danger? Why chase adventure? Why take chances? Slowly, innovation begins to decline. Explorers disappear. Entrepreneurs become rare. Risk itself starts to vanish. The world becomes safer. More predictable, more comfortable, but something important is lost. Without uncertainty, there is less courage. Without courage, there is less growth. And without growth, life begins to feel strangely empty. 5 years after the dates appeared, a completely new economy emerged, not built around money, not built around status, built around time. For the first time in human history, people knew exactly how valuable their remaining years were. A 30-year-old woman with 60 years left was viewed differently than a man with only 6 months remaining. Banks began offering loans based on lifespan. Employers started asking a question nobody had ever asked before. How much time do you have left? Many countries quickly made the practice illegal, but it continued anyway, quietly, behind closed doors. Entire businesses appeared that catered only to people with short lives remaining. Luxury travel, extreme adventures, last chance experiences. People called it the goodbye industry, and it became one of the largest industries on Earth. Meanwhile, something darker began happening. Some people became obsessed with their date. Every morning they checked it. Every evening they checked it again. Forums appeared online where millions gathered to compare their remaining years. A strange new form of social status emerged. Not wealth, not beauty, time. The people with the longest lives became celebrities. The people with the shortest became invisible. For generations, humanity had feared death. Now humanity feared something else, running out of time before everyone else. And that fear slowly became stronger than death itself. Years later, scientists discover something shocking. The dates were never fixed. They were never a countdown. They were predictions. Every choice still mattered. Every decision still changed the future. The date only reflected the path you were currently walking, and the moment people learned that, everything changed again. Because suddenly, the future became uncertain once more. And uncertainty turned out to be the very thing that made life worth living. So let me ask you this. If you knew exactly when your life would end, would you finally start living? Or would you spend the rest of your life counting the days,